Hello and welcome. You're watching ET now. I'm Harsh Saita and I'm at the very swanky Navi Mumbai International Airport. And the man behind that, or the organization behind that, is Jeet Adani and Adani Airports Limited. He's the director there. Jeet, very close to the launch.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
No, it feels amazing. I mean, we're finally here. It took a long time, but a lot of sweat, blood, and tears have gone into this place.
Right.
But it's. I think I'm very proud. It's come out really well.
Yeah. Now, talk to us. What were the expectations and how has the output been?
No, I think it's been better than expectations, quite
Okay.
honestly. When you're sort of conceptualizing a place like this, you don't think about the finer details until you actually see it in person, and that's when that's really come out much better than I had thought.
Right.
I have to give credit to my team as well, who's been able to, who's been day in, day out, been handling this over the last 3.5, 4 years. But yeah, it's 25th, we're starting now with the first flight. And slow ramp up, but that's what we wanted. We wanted no complaints on day one is a job well done rather than a big bang.
Sure.
Yeah.
But when does how does the ramp up happen and how does the capacity build up happen? Talk us through that. Is it going to take maybe 3 months for it to start gaining steam? And where are we placed? Maybe a month from now, what's the expectation like? 2-3 months from now, what's the expectation like?
So the first month we're starting with 12-hour operations.
Okay.
There's part of the terminal in the international side which we're still working on. So to make sure that we are able to continue work in steam efficiency, we're doing 12 on, 12 off. And at the same time, the equipment, the air navigation and air traffic equipment is getting calibrated with real flights. The initial calibration is done, but an operational calibration and training of the operators over there.
Sure.
That's why for the first 1 month, we are limiting ourselves to at most a capacity of 8 flights an hour.
Sure.
As per the plan, we're doing about 24 flights in a day.
Right.
On the first day. And you'll see that this will scale up after the first month once we move to 24-hour operations and unlocking the value from the ATC. We will be able to move up to 24 to 30 flights per hour. And that's the scale up. Now, in terms of actual utilization, the kind of plans that we've seen, the 4-5 airlines, the domestic airlines that we've spoken to, between both international as well as domestic ops, we think that we will hit a run rate of capacity by the end of next financial year.
Okay. All right. And what will that run rate be?
20 million passengers per annum.
Got it. You currently service 55 million at
in Mumbai.
The Chhatrapati
Exactly.
Shivaji. Now, so how full are we in terms of capacity there? Because
choco-blocked.
choco-blocked.
Yeah. I mean, you see it with the stories of how long it takes, holding in the air,
Yes.
how much time it takes to finally get a slot to land.
Yes.
And that's because that airport is a single runway. It's a cross-runway airport, but effectively a single runway. And because of that, there's limitations of how many flights can land in a single hour.
Right.
They're hitting the technical maximum that they can.
Right.
It actually was the most efficient airport in the world, I think 2-3 years in a row. But that's why this is extremely important because there's so much, this has been the case since the last 5 years.
Yes.
It hit full capacity before COVID.
Yes.
COVID just gave breathing time. Otherwise, this problem would have been much severe. So that's why this has unlocked a lot of additional supply, which is going to be able to serve the latent demand that exists in the MMR region.
Right. Jeet, how or what is the challenge with regard to adopting a new airport? Because that's going to be your next challenge, right?
Of course.
So this is all past problems which you're trying to solve for. The next challenge is going to be how do you adopt?
Yes.
What's the answer to that?
So 2 things. One, obviously the biggest thing is convenience.
Right.
So from a convenience point of view, what people look for when they see a new airport being built, the first thing that comes in everyone's mind is that it's going to be too inconvenient to go there.
Correct.
Like it's too fast.
Correct.
So at least that way, Navi Mumbai has solved some part of the hurdle up front. From a roadways point of view, the connectivity is quite good. It's connected through the sea link to the southern island, through Vashi Bridge and Sion Expressway from the suburbs.
Right.
And on the eastern side as well, it has good connectivity to the Mumbai-Pune Expressway.
Right.
Um, but there's still some development that needs to be done, which is the Ulve Coastal Road, the Navi Mumbai Coastal Road being built will give it direct connectivity without signal once you get onto that sea lane. The Worli-Shivri link also is planned to be opened soon. That will further, I mean, it's very far away if you think about it, but that's how the network is. You unlock that bottleneck, then suddenly entire new demand bubble comes in. So that's what we think on the roadway point of view. But our thought process was very clear on day one that this has to be a multimodal hub. That you have connectivity from road, bus, train, metro, suburban, monorail, water, vertiports, high-speed rail, and that's actually what's going on. So there's a high-speed rail station coming on the eastern side of our site, within our site, which will connect directly into the airport. The metro line is being planned, which will be ready by the time we have Terminal 2 ready. Suburban rail is on, bus routes are already on. So yeah, that way is, I think it's coming up well. I don't think it'll be there on day one, but as we go through the first sort of phase of maturity, I will be damned for anyone to find an airport better connected than this in the world.
Oh, okay. That's a big statement to make, and I'll hold you to that.
Absolutely.
Okay. Jeet, the metro, etc. There's still some time to go there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So there is still some possible disruption in terms of adoption. Are you worried about that at all to kickstart things?
Not so much. I think roadway connectivity and bus connectivity is quite good. Is quite good. And also our ramp up is slow. We're not hitting CSMI numbers until 2030.
Okay.
So once we get there, then we'll need for sure we'll need the metro.
Okay. And how should one look at strategy for you?
Yeah.
Do you look at attracting airlines first? Do you look at attracting customers first? Footfall, airline. Is it passenger or airline?
I think both together.
And how do you do that then?
So in terms of footfall, attracting footfall takes two things. So convenience was the first thing you had mentioned.
Correct.
But the other thing is also price.
Right.
Obviously, you opened up with saying this is a swanky airport.
Yes.
Obviously this has a cost associated with it. I mean,
So.
it's a very large project, and up front we're starting with a small base. So in the regulated framework, yes, the cost on day one is going to be high, which is why we've been actively working with the government to see how we can combine the regulatory structure of Mumbai and Navi Mumbai and give a common tariff to the entire, because the user base is the same. The operator is the same.
Right.
So you have to be, you can very easily, remove that entire convenience ick factor from Navi Mumbai by doing this. And that will increase the take rate. And with airlines is sort of driven by two influences, right? Where customer demand is there, they'll come. But they'll come provided that the supply from a seat plane perspective is there.
Correct.
So a seat plane is something that's not in our hands, unfortunately. While we do track it and we see that hopefully things are sounding that they're better.
Okay.
But early signals. But hopefully once that supply comes in, we'll see. Because consumer demand is there. We know today Mumbai has a latent demand of 80 million passengers.
Right.
We're serving only 55.
Right. Yeah. And how many terminals you achieve?
Ultimately, there will be either 3 or 4 terminals, depending on how we execute our next phase. So our next phase, we are debating whether or not to do a capacity of 30 million as a new terminal or straight 50 million. Yeah. So then if we do straight 50 million, then we'll have a total of 3 terminals only. If we do 30 million additional, we'll have 4 terminals in total. Yeah.
Right. And how should one see the financials evolve? Talk to us about that, because everything has an IRR attached to it.
Of course.
These are long gestation businesses, and your group is famous for diving into those and doing them very well, right?
Yeah.
What's the kind of IRR that one can pencil in if one were a shareholder?
Yeah, so we look at it not as a single project IRR, because there's so much cross-sell that happens here. So you can see around there's all the retail that's come up. This is a small example, but we are sitting today at from a revenue perspective, a 50-50 share between regulated and unregulated revenue. In my knowledge, or like from my foresight, I think this share is going to go up from share of non-regulated is going to go up to 90% in the coming years.
Okay.
Primarily driven by the investments that we're doing in city side. So we're doing in our first phase developing 14 million square feet of leasable area and adding 2 to 3 million square feet every year. And the total potential is like 250 million square feet across all the airports. And that's how we look at it. We look at it as a, what is my return on capital across investments on these three assets? Because
Sure.
you have retail, which is very low investment but very high return.
Right.
More working capital inventory driven. You have airports, terminals, airfield, which is sort of regulated 12.5, 13% return on capital, fixed but mature. And then you have the city side, which is 20, 25, 30% return on capital kind of assets, depending on the use. And but when you combine all of that together, you see the returns on capital go up quite significantly. Yeah.
Jeet, on what stops you from doing it under the current model, where you're managing airports?
Yeah.
Why get into this PPP business where it's capital intensive and the like, right? What's the attraction there?
No, so look, it's all about how you can control and execute the narrative better.
Okay.
So you look at this terminal itself. Yeah, we invested in the terminal
Right.
as a PPP partner.
Yes.
We invested in all the retail underneath. We invested in all the services that are being done. So what that allows us to do is, one, be able to cross-sell.
Right.
So there is no conflict of interest when one shop is trying to discount to boost another shop's sale.
Right.
It's all owned by one. So then we look at overall revenue and not shop-wise revenue only.
Sure.
Same thing is from a passenger experience point of view. Today, when you are controlling the entire narrative from a check-in to a shop sale to a flight boarding to a bus transport to the flight, the training, quality of equipment, everything you put in the same standard and operating procedures, you are able to control that much better from a passenger point of view. Today, otherwise, unfortunately, in a lot of airports, you go and the airport operator doesn't run most of the things. They're not responsible for anything. They just build a terminal and that's it.
Right. How should one look at the business model? Typically, you've scaled very, very quickly, right?
Yeah.
And you first worked with managing airports.
Yeah.
It seems that the group thereafter realized that, hey, we can do PPP and we can do PPP well.
Yeah.
That's when you've dipped your feet into PPP.
Yeah.
Does this mean that, does it leave the room door open for more such projects of this size and scale within India?
Absolutely.
Because viewers, you have to note this, that the Adani Group is the first group to do a PPP airport project in India. And this is the largest airport that we're building in India. So you need to keep that in mind. To have this kind of a size and scale to it, are you open to more projects? And does that mean that your learnings from the current will give you operating efficiency going forward?
No, 100%. Look, we'll look at all kind of opportunities. If it's greenfield PPP projects, greenfield private projects, brownfield expansion like we did with the 6 airports. We're completely open in that sense. What our existing experience has allowed us to do is, we've created the talent, the capability, the partners, the technology and the processes to be able to work on. And we invested years of time in this. And capital also on the technology side. What that allows us to do is now, any new project that we want to, it's a plug and play. We don't need to reinvest in anything. So if it's a brownfield asset that is getting privatized by the government, we can start extracting value on day one.
How long do you have till you hit that 9 crore number? I believe 9 crore is the capacity, the full capacity of this airport.
Yeah.
How long are you seeing in terms of a timeline till you hit that full capacity mark, in your opinion?
2038 or 2040.
Okay.
So
you have a
15
good
years,
timeline to maybe plan forward as well within Bombay. Okay, I get your point. Now, on Adani airports in particular, you've scaled up very, very rapidly, right? And you've largely been profitable, and that's what really stands out for me. Very few players get to do that from year one, like nearly year one, okay, year two. Uh, uh, does this add to your margins, or is this margin dilutive for you? This project.
This airport, yeah. No, this significantly adds to margins.
Okay.
Because two things. One is the way the structure of the concession is also.
Yeah.
And as a size of an asset, it's got quite a lot of potential in terms of scale to be able to extract value out. So yeah, I think as a platform, it will definitely be margin accretive for me. This would be, I would say, the highest margin actually. What we've modeled, Navi Mumbai will be the highest margin airport in our platform.
Okay.
Followed by Mumbai, followed by the other six. Yeah.
So both on revenue as well as margins as well as profitability, will it be accretive? Because you will have depth costs, etc.
Yeah, of course.
Profitability wise as well.
Yeah, even profitability wise.
Okay.
Maybe not on day one,
Okay.
but on year one.
Okay,
Yeah.
understood. And how about ROC? That will likely come down, right? Because you've invested such a lot of capital into the business.
Temporarily.
And therefore, temporarily your ROCs will fall.
Yeah.
If you can give us a sense, I know this is privately owned under Adani Enterprises, but if you can give us a sense, what's the ROC currently of the airports business, and what does year one look like in terms of ROC now with this asset coming on stream?
Yeah. I blended. I don't think we give that guidance.
Sure, I know. Which is why
it's mid-teens.
Okay.
I would say right now. With this, it would take a couple of basis points dips.
Okay.
Couple of percent point dips. Sorry.
Right.
And but that also the dip is going to be for the first year, because like I mentioned, we would hit the 20 million capacity on a run rate basis at the end of year one.
Okay.
So by the second year, you'd see a full year of operations coming in,
Sure.
in which you'll see the ROCE swinging across to a couple of percentage points more than what it was. Yeah.
Understood. When do you believe the airport business matures, Jeet?
I think it has about 3 years to mature.
Okay.
I look at maturity in a couple of things.
Right.
I look at maturity from the point of view of cash flow.
Yeah.
So the business needs to have enough cash flow to be able to fund its own capex, so completely self-funded. Today we are highly EBITDA positive, but because the investment cycle is such that we're not cash positive. So that once we reach that stage over the next 2-3 years, it should be one check mark, I would say. The other thing, what I would say is that what makes this business quite mature is the execution of our CSD strategy, which you would see the first phase of the assets coming online in 2029, 2030.
Okay.
And we would see the acceptance of this, execution by 28, whereas pre-leasing will start.
Okay.
So those two are big. I mean, this was the third, but this is now pretty much done. Yeah.
You currently run 8 airports, including this one.
Yeah, exactly.
In 3 years, where do you get to?
3 years, if all things right, maybe 20.
20 airports in 3 years.
Yeah.
Understood. When do you list?
Good question.
You said it gets mature in 3 years, so likely listing in around that point.
Yes. So we haven't decided whether we'll demerge or IPO or which way we will go, but yeah.
What will the trigger be?
I think just getting that conviction that you're able to get the right value.
Sure.
And the full story is understood.
Understood.
So you want to take a ride?
Yeah, let's do that. Excellent. So, so you get to 20 airports in 3 years from now.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah, absolutely. Market that you're targeting?
Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3.
Okay. Yeah. And
so we would do everything above, let's say, right now doing above 1 to 2 million passengers.
Understood.
Then it still makes sense. Below that, then it's too small. Yeah.
Understood. And how many will you own and how many will you manage?
It's now under the same model.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, no, sorry, under the same model meaning?
So it's under the concession model, the 50-year
Right.
concession model,
Right.
where you invest and you have to invest in the asset.
Sure.
You pay a fixed fee to the government per passenger that goes through,
Right.
and you're under the regulated regime of ERA. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even this one.
Even this one,
would,
yeah.
would work the same
Yes,
way.
yes.
So it doesn't hit your top line. I thought you had 74% ownership.
No, we do have 74% ownership. So now I think that model is quite clear. Everything that the central government is doing is 100% private ownership.
Okay.
But it's under a concession structure. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Fair point. Okay. So the business model largely remains the same across all your 20 airports.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay. Thank you so much. Jeet. This
Awesome.
has been a pleasure.
Thank you.